Carolyn, I want to talk about the election. One of the things that Barnaby said today was the fact that there's an election occurring this year, so the second half of this year, which is when Scott Morrison can call one. He could go from a COVID hero, to a certain degree, straight into an election campaign. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense. Look, COVID's not going anywhere anytime soon, so I think he's got a pretty decent run up into the election. I think one probably will be called this year. Something that I haven't heard people talking about yet, or maybe they have, I haven't heard it, is there's still 2 federal seat redistributions that need to be done, one in WA and one in Victoria. So those need to occur first, is my understanding, before an election can be called. So it'll be interesting to see when that actually occurs, as to when, I suppose, Barnaby's, run up into an election campaign can kick off. But I think it probably will be towards the end of the year. Hopefully not too far to the end of the year. I don't think anyone wants an election campaign too close to Christmas. But it will be after those redistributions are done.
Joel, in the last 4 weeks, I've seen the Prime Minister's strategy on COVID change completely. He's now applauding Queensland for closing down the city and suburbs with 1 infection, and he's now closed our own borders when New Zealand came up with 1 infection. Now, that's increased to 3 today, I should point out, but boy, oh boy, there must be an election in the air.
Yeah, well, Chris, he keeps talking at Anastasia Palaszczuk's election result in Queensland and the polling numbers on people like Mark McGowan in Western Australia. It is an amazing turnaround. And getting back to Barnaby Joyce, do you remember when Barnaby told Australia that you were at more risk of getting a snake bite than contracting and suffering from COVID? So Scott Morrison's interesting. In the beginning, he framed this as an economic and national security issue because he sees that as their strengths, and he established the National Cabinet so he could show that he's leading the charge.
Yep.
But when things got really tough, National Cabinet suddenly didn't meet so often, and he started giving more responsibility to the states and blaming the states for all of the problems. So he is a quick learner, though, Scott Morrison. He will learn from that. And he still sees COVID as a net positive, and my prediction is, like any other Prime Minister, he'll go whenever he thinks he's a good prospect for success.
Joel Fitzgibbon, Carolyn D'Russo, thank you very much for being part of the program.
Good to be with you.
Chris.